I'm JD. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe, please hit like, and please give me a thumbs up if you can possibly do that. So what do I have here today? I've got a Zenith automatic, and it's Swiss made, so we're going to go inside and have a look at what this thing is actually made out of. What is the movement in there? So this watch has got a pretty simple case back here, so I just have to take my case opener in two positions here and then rotate this until I can feel it click. There we go. And that should allow me to take the back off it. And there it is. What a beautiful movement we have here. So this looks like a Zenith 188.3 movement, and it's a bumper rotor on there. See the two springs on the rotor? I'll use my little pointer here, see if I can. There's one there, a spring there, and there's a spring on the other side. So this rotor goes to one side here, and it bumps, and as it going to the side you can hear it winding. And then it bumps on this side with the spring. So it just bumps back and forth nicely. Right? So this is a beautiful old watch. It's 24 karat gold, so it's worth a bit of money. I think I went online. I think this is probably about a 2,000 euro watch, so it's not cheap. But let's see how well it's running. So I've got a piezo timing system here, and this is going to be sending a signal to my escapement analyzer e-timer software, which is very high-end. This software costs you around $700, and I got it quite a few years ago. Alright, this is a USB based. It goes over to my computer, and it's going to measure it's the watch escapement analyzer and timer, and this is a version 2.203, 30th of April 2023. So I bought that quite a few years ago actually, and it works very well. Now I look up in the screen here, I looked this watch up before, and it has a lift angle of 51 degrees because it's a movement 133.8 Zenith. So, and it's running at 21,600 vibrations per hour. And here's the trace on this watch. And as you can see, its amplitude is actually pretty darn good. It's riding around 80, 70, 60, 80. And the beat error is actually pretty good as well. It's below 1. It pops up above it for a little while, but it's really below 1. So, and I think if I turn this on its side, we'll see what it looks like as well. So it's pretty much the same on its side. Its beat error gets a bit higher, I think, on its side, so maybe there's a way of adjusting that. It gets quite a lot higher actually on its side, but the amplitude is okay, 236, 237. The rate's gone negative, so if I flip it back on its facing up, you can see that beat error gets corrected a bit as it's facing up, and the rate's plus 80, plus 90, but the amplitude goes way up. And I put it on its side again, and that's the other side, and we can see the beat errors kind of all over the map, but the rate, no, it's got to stabilize a bit, but the rate's not too bad here. So I'd have to average out the rate, but I'll put it on my time graph for a few seconds. I just wanted to see what it looked like. Now it's face down, and the rate's a big negative. And now it's riding back up as it stabilizes. But again, the amplitude's not too bad. The beat error's off a bit here, but it's riding all over the map, so I'm not sure. It's an old watch. I'm not sure whether this thing is worth trying to get down to spec again because it's very old, 1961. So that's it. So that's this watch here. I'm going to put this on the time grapher as well and see what this looks like. And let me see, video window capture. If I just click that, you'll see how I've got it in here. So it's you get a bit of information from this, but really it's an old watch, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this thing. So without having to drag all my equipment up on my desk here, you can see the amplitude's at 223. It's plus 67. The beat error is about 1.2 milliseconds. And I put the lift angle at 51 on here. So it's running fast, a bit fast, so that can be tuned down a bit. And the beat error is a bit high, so I'd have to adjust that beat error as well on this watch. So that's that. See if I can get a better angle, probably not. So it's running even faster in the crown down position. Again, 1.4 beat error, and the amplitude is 148, so that's not so good in the crown down position. Now this is in the face down position, so the rate's 101, a bit better. Amplitude's a little higher at 199. The beat error is still 1.4, so still not great. And the amplitude has gone down considerably. And the last position I'm going to test this in is crown right, and it's minus 177, amplitude 149, beat error 2.1, and it looks like the lift angle is still 51 as I've set it, so that's not so great. It's all over the map. So I've done a little bit of research on this particular watch and the bumper movement in here, and a gentleman who repaired one said he'll never do it again. And he had a roller table problem. The jewel fell out, and then as he's repairing it, he broke the pivot on the bounce, and it caused all kinds of other problems. And the jewel he was looking for took a month to get a hold of. Basically, there's no parts for this watch. You have to buy another one just like it if there's any problems at all with this watch. So this watch is currently running, although as you saw, it's not running really well, but it is a 1961 caliber 133.8 watch, and I really need to make a decision whether I do anything with this watch, because the owner wants to have it cleaned and restored so that they can give it to their grandchildren, I think. And I'm not sure with respect to the amount of work required. The compensation won't even be close to the amount of work required to work on this very unique watch. So the fear alone is causing me to say no. I'll take your comments on this, and if you've got any documentation on the disassembly of this bumper movement, then please send it to me. But for now, I'm thinking no, and I'm thinking to tell the lady that owns the watch to not try to have it restored, to leave it in its vintage condition and just treasure it as a watch that their great-grandfather had. So that's it. So I do pocket watches normally, and not ladies' watches, and definitely not Zenith bumper movements. I could take this thing apart. I could take it apart very carefully. I could likely clean it, and I could likely reassemble it. But in that whole process, as this other person found out, without the manual and the proper instructions on disassembly, it's super dangerous to try to disassemble this thing and put it back together again. If this were my watch, I'd do it, but it's not my watch, and it's running right now, and it's running okay. So okay to give to a grandkid. so I think I'd put this in the vintage drawer and don't try to get it running like a brand new watch. So that's it for now. I'm JD. Again, thanks for watching my video. I know I'll take all your comments on my bravery, and you can let me know what you think. Thanks a lot, and I'll catch you later.